Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva to be in Mitzion. Again, a bonus chiddush for today. You get two chiddushim for the price of one. It is the same chiddush. Mishnah Vav in Parakid Beis and Mishnah Aleph in Parakid Gimel. I think they have the same machlokas. Machlokas in the last Mishnah in Parakid Beis is if I write shtei osios, right? Again, there's a malacha of ksiva, has to be two osios. We learned it has to be a word. Now, after I write one letter, which is not a shir enough to be mechayev, it's a chatzi shir or a chatzi malacha. Maybe it's not even asur midaraisa, even though chatzi shir is asur midaraisa, chatzi malacha might be only asur midrabanan. And then I do it b'shogeg, right? And then I remember that it's Shabbos. I remember this malacha is asur, and then I forget again. I write a second letter. Are you chayev or not? Rabbi Gamliel mechayev, unless you're chayev. Chum say you're pater. Why are you pater? Yesh yediyah l'chatzi shir. There's a yediyah. It's significant the fact that I remembered, right? If you have 5 be'ilos, right, that are asurim, Aisha Sish or something like that, 5 different married women, and you forgot that she's an Aisha Sish, and then you remembered, and then you forgot again. So the yedios are machalkos. Paskin the Gemara in Shabbos talks about it. In this parak Zion in Shabbos talks about yedios machalkos, having a yediyah between two averas, or maybe between two. You have to be mafresh a korban maybe. It's a machlokas in the Gemara, but if you did the full Avera, a complete share of the Avera, that's Chayav Chadas, and then you remembered, and then you forgot again, so therefore you have to bring 5 separate karbonos. What about a Yediyah in the middle of the Malacha? Is that significant or not? If it is significant, that breaks up the Malacha into 2 parts, right? You have a Malacha of writing one letter, a Malacha of writing one letter, so you can't be Mechayev, it's not 2 letters combined. Gil says there's no Yediyah L'Chatzi share. Chum said there is Yediyah L'Chatzi share. What's the Machlokas? So according to me, Machlokas is as follows. Machlokas is, what is the Isser by Ksiva? And all the malachas on Shabbos. Is it the Maisa or the Totzah? Is it the act of writing, or is it the result of having a written word? Right? It's a very, very fundamental Machlokas. There's a lot of nafkaminas about this. Right? Let's say you plant something on Shabbos. I did the Maisa Zri on Shabbos, but it's going to grow after Shabbos. So if you hold the Maisa, I'm Chayev. If you hold the Totzah, I'm not Chayev. Similarly, if I plant something before Shabbos, and then it grows on Shabbos, maybe I'd be chayev if I'm chayev for the totzah, for the result of it growing on Shabbos, of it taking root on Shabbos. Ashrasha is what's basically mechayev you by Zriya. It's a famous machlok, famous nidon, famous discussion. In a lot of the Minchas Chinuch talks about this, and other achronim talk about this. It's featured in that sefer by the Sakhachover Rav. What is it called? Iglei Tal. It's a famous alumnus sefer on the Hasidish Rebbe on Hilchos Shabbos. So according to the Rabbanan, I would say as follows. I want to say it's a Maisa. It's the Maisa. The Maisa is Mechayev. So therefore, I can have a deal L'Chatzi share because the Maisa, it's the Maisa Ksiva. If it's the Totzah is not completed until I write 2 letters. So 1 letter is insignificant. So any deal L'Chatzi share according to the Rabbi Gamliel. Chachamim say no. The Maisa is what's significant. It's just writing the letters. Therefore, the Maisa is something, right? It's not a full malacha, but it's a partial malacha. I would say that. Further, we're just explaining that according to the Chamim, since the Maisa is the malacha, it's actually writing 1 letter would be a chatzi shir and not a chatzi malacha. The chatzi shir meaning I'd be asur midaraisa, not chayav a korban for it, but it's asur midaraisa. According to Gamliel, it's a chatzi malacha. It's like doing an akira without a hanacha. An akira without a hanacha is half of the malacha, which is not even a chatzi shir. It's not a chatzi shir, and only asur midarabanan possibly, maybe even not at all. So I would say the same thing over here. The Chamim say the Maisa is asur. And we said the Totzah. So according to the Totzah, I did nothing. So therefore, you can't have a Yediyah for nothing. According to the Chum, I did something. And that's how I'd like to explain also the Machlokas in the first Mishnah in Parak Yud Gimel. Machlokas about Shtei Chutin, Orek Shtei Chutin, to weave 2 different stitches, two stitches, right? That's generally the shear in the Mishnah in the 7th Parak, that you have to weave 2 stitches. Relezer says, if you're starting the Beged, you have to do something more significant. You have 3 stitches. Right? If it's already began, so then only 1 stitch. And according to the Chamim, no, it's always 2 stitches. But according to the Chamim, the malacha of Ariga is the Maisa Ariga. Maisa Ariga. It's only considered a significant weaving if there's 2 stitches. Because normal weaving is a plain weave, which has 1 in the warp, 1 in the weft. According to Belezer, no, it's about something significant, about accomplishing something. So starting a baguette, if I only have 2 stitches, it's going to fall apart very easily, so I haven't done anything significant. However, if I have 3 stitches and I add 1, I've done something significant. I've added to this baguette. And the Chum say, no, it's about the Maisa Ariga. It's about the ma'isa of stitching. This is a fundamental machlokas, because I've mentioned many times the point of Malacha Shabbos is to do commercial activity, do business-like activities. So seemingly it should be like Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Lezer, that it's the totzah of the Malacha. But that's the chiddush. We really pass in the Chamim that even though, yes, you have to do something which is commercially productive, something which is a business-like activity, but again, Shabbos is Malachas Machshavas Asra Torah. And that's very important to note, that business is not something that will be significant that I can sell, a product that I can sell. The reason the Torah asked you to do Malacha on Shabbos is to engage in business that will occupy your mind. Malachas Machshavas, the Gemara says many times. It occupies your machshava. So therefore, when I plan on writing 2 letters, right, I'm going to write 2 letters. If I didn't write 2 letters, it's insignificant. It's not a business-like activity. But when I'm writing those 2 letters, what's mechayev me is not the fact that I have written 2 letters, but it's the ma'isa, the engagement in doing a business-like activity, which occupies my mind. And that's why the ma'isa is significant, because every letter occupies my mind if I plan on doing it for business-like purposes, and I'm writing 2 letters, right? I plan on writing 2 letters, so even when I'm doing the first ma'isa, it's already occupying my mind, and that's the reason it's usher, not because I did a business-like activity, it's because my mind is occupied with business-like activities. I hope that made it clear what the gather of malacha is in Masech Shabbos. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.